And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray, back from Panama. A little lethargic, but I'm here in the Mighty 1090 studios with my buddy Rick Maxa and our good friend from Seaguar, Mr. Dale Hightower. It's going to be a great show, talking fishing, talking bluefin and yellowtail and fluorocarbon. Stay tuned. This is Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Mighty 1090.
Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board. The only fish finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel. Shimano is proud to present an opportunity for you to go fishing on two of the finest three-quarter-day boats on the fleet and use the top-of-the-line Shimano gear. It's Terramar Tuesday, going on now through September. Join Shimano Pro staff aboard the San Diego out of Seaforth Sport Fishing, and coming in June, the new Liberty from Fisherman's Landing. These trips will be booked through the landing and it's the same price as a regular three-quarter-day trip, but the difference will be a selection of top-of-the-line Shimano Terramar rods and reels will be available for you to try, along with an assortment of Shimano jigs and more. And a member of the Shimano Pro staff will be aboard to answer questions you may have. Terramar Tuesdays will feature Shimano Terramar rods with Trinidad A, Torium HG, Tranks, and Talica reels available for you to try for free. Don't miss Terramar Tuesday on the San Diego out of Seaforth Sport Fishing and beginning June 7th aboard the Liberty from Fisherman's Landing. Check the landing website for more details or the trips page at hookup1090.com.
Everybody looks forward to spring fishing. The yellowtail are starting to bite, and exciting tuna action is right around the corner. As the fishing is ramping up, Ford Truck Month is winding down. These are the final days to get big rebates and special low financing on Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks in America for 39 years in a row. That's why you see so many at the launch ramp these days. F-150 has the power and capability to tow and launch your boat with ease. Plus, its high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body panels won't rust like other trucks. If you have a big boat to move and need even more muscle, Ford Super Duty is definitely the way to go. Its next-generation 6.7-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel delivers big-time power along with impressive fuel economy. So don't miss the final days of Ford Truck Month, the best time of the year to step up to a new F-150 or Super Duty. See your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. It's good to be sitting back on this side of the table.
Yeah, you like that?
You
did a great job. Thank you very much for covering while we were down on our 2016 Cast Tours Pesca Panama trip. Like I said, heading back to the hotel in Panama City, Panama City, one thing I know I got cut off on the thing. I went last year, and you went the year before, and every year go there, there's 10 new high-rises.
Exactly. Not a new building. I mean, a skyscraper.
Panama City now looks like Dubai. It's
really?
Like all these incredible, exotic, super high-rises everywhere. It's an amazing city. And, of course, one of the main reasons is there's so much money there because of the Panama Canal.
The world's commerce go through there.
Yeah, everything. I mean, it's, you got to figure that it's $300,000 to $500,000 per vessel that goes through the Panama Canal in revenue for that country, and they're stacked up in the ocean,
24 hours a day,
hundreds of them. So I mean, the Panama City thing is booming, and it's quite a sight to see.
Cool.
Panama City, the people are great, the country is beautiful, but cold green water got us.
Man,
it was just, it's like the anti-El Nino, it's like there's certain places in the world that it benefits and there's certain places in the world it doesn't benefit, and that is one of the places that it doesn't benefit. And like I was just telling you, we had incredible 20 to 40-pound jack fishing on the poppers and everything, just foamers everywhere the first day. And then, and we had tuna, 150, 200-pound tuna crashing 5 feet from the boat, surrounding us, and they wouldn't touch anything.
It just seems impossible.
Yeah,
like, how could that not? How could that be?
Yeah, if we would have had more caballito,
okay.
Caballito was really hard to get, and we had some issues with a big swell, so we weren't in the right place the first day to get the caballito that we needed for the whole trip.
So you can catch bait and keep it for...
Yeah, they have big bait things.
Gotcha.
So, but, the one big fish we got with Steve Pinard was on a live bonito, slow trolling on the Hannibal Bank. I know that Cass was the only one that caught... they wouldn't touch a popper, which, as you know, that was always the star, is getting these huge tuna to crash on the poppers there.
And
they wouldn't.
Like the you go.
My arms are sore.
Man.
And everybody's arms are sore from throwing the poppers. But Cass was using these Daiwa minnows.
Okay. SP minnow maybe.
Caught 120 pounders on the Tranks.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
And
so then he had an extra. So that was one day. So then and this is how frustrating the fishing was. So we went to the same spot, saw the same schools, everything. He loaned Steve and I one for the next day. We threw it till our arms fell off, and we never got chucked. Threw it right in the middle of these foaming tuna things, and they wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
Right, but that's just fishing.
Fishing, man.
It
sounds like they were just all over some kind of really small bait. So trying to get one to eat a live bonita, that's a 5-pound bait when they're eating something that's an inch long is sometimes not the easiest thing to pull off.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah.
But cool show though, I'm sure.
Oh, the visuals
so
are
rad.
incredible, and the weather was great. It also made it very intense on the sun.
I'll bet.
I got to be honest with you. Pesca Panama, when Jay was running it, was a phenomenal operation. You experienced it.
Yes.
I got to question the new owner. To be honest with you, he's got a lot of issues with outboard motors. They used to use Stellas on the boat.
Yeah, I remember.
I used to say you don't need to bring anything. It's not true anymore. He's got Saragosas.
Uh-huh.
The difference between turning the handle on a 100-pound tuna with a Saragosa, which is a great reel, but it's not made for 100-pound tuna.
You got it. See, a Saragosa is a really good spinning reel for the fishing that we do up here. When most of the tuna that you're catching are 25 to 30-pounders, and you very well may hook a 50 or 60-pounder, that reel is very much up to the task. When you're talking about a fish that might be a 150-pounder, you have to go Stella. That's why Stella is there. That's what you need.
I don't know what it is, but there's something inside that reel. You can actually turn the handle.
Yeah,
on a big fish. So if you are going, and it's still a great experience. I don't want to deny that Pesca Panama is. It's the only way to me to do Panama is on a mothership type of operation. Otherwise, but if they get their issues with their outboard straightened out and a few other things, I mean, certainly we want them to thrive and be back to what it was. Maybe they're going through some growing pains or whatever. But bring your own tackle would be my question.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry I didn't bring some Talicas. I did bring my Stella, and I'm thankful for that. I did bring my Tranks. I was thankful for that. They've got plenty of rods, so bring your reels.
Bring your reels.
Bring your reels, and they've got Tiagras if you want to,
patrol
for the big fish, for the big bonita fishing and stuff like that. Fishing the bigger gear. They've got the big gear. Like Steve Pinard is an animal from Dana Landing. I got to tell you. So we hooked that big fish on the bonita, and of course they had it on the right gear. It was a Tiagra 50 with 200-pound leader. The big long range tackle that we all use. He killed that fish in 11 minutes.
Get out of here!
11 minutes. It was a 150-pound tuna.
Nicely done, Steve. That's cool.
It was just like I had my my Sony camera. I was ready to shoot some underwater video, and I go, color. Deep color, and they all went, no, and I go, look, he's right there.
I fish with Steve. He can pull.
Yeah,
he can pull really hard.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I've been shooting a lot of stuff with GoPro. I found a way better camera, and that was thanks to Team No Bananas, Manny, who works for Sony.
Uh-huh. That
Sony sports cam is unbelievable. The battery life is insane, and as anybody that has
that's the thing
a
that drives you crazy with GoPro, yeah.
But this. I didn't change the battery once in 4 days.
I have 4 batteries for my GoPro because it takes me 4 to film a full day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And super high quality,
cool.
much easier to use. One button push, boom, boom, boom.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I'll have to
cool.
turn you on to that. It's quite a camera. But anyway, always a great experience going with Cass and Cass Tours.
Best.
It is an incredible experience, but I'm glad to be home.
The
sun was tough.
We definitely knew something was up when you called yesterday and you said, "Well, there was great camaraderie."
Yeah,
like
boy, did we have a great group of people. We
I'll
had
bet
12,
you did.
We had 12 guys on the boat, and great people.
Cool.
Just every single one of them. We all got along great, and it was so from that aspect, and also the Panama experience. It was a great trip.
Good.
It was just the fishing was challenging.
There you go.
We had to work. We had to work at every single one. But the star of the week, of course, was Dr. Gary Furness,
always
from Northern California. That guy fishes. He's the first boat off in the morning. He's the last boat come in, and the last day he came in like everybody was in at like 5:36. They're long days. He came in like almost 7 o'clock. I mean, it was almost dark. And he says, well, I've got quite a story to tell. He caught this rooster fish the last hour of the last day. He showed the picture. The deckhand said that it was one of the biggest they've ever seen. He said there was 80 plus. The thing had to be 100 pounds. I'm going to get the photo. I'll make it a part of our YouTube video. But it was giant.
And Gary's the epitome of hardcore.
Yeah, he is hardcore.
Yeah.
I got to fish with him the last half day.
Cool.
And he doesn't stop.
No way. The fight doctor. He's the man.
He's a fight doctor. Yeah, you see him on the MMA
UFC all the time. Yeah,
for sure. If there's a fight in Northern California, he's that bald guy in the corner.
Yeah, Gary's cool people.
Yeah. So Dale, great to have you. And we did use a lot of Seaguar. And when I took the pink label down, I took the Premier down. We were fishing the Premier, and I got to say, probably a lot of the bites we got were because we were using Seaguar.
Well, thanks for having me on. As usual, I love coming in studio. Somebody asked me how many times I've been doing this, and I know for 15 plus years before Marty was in studio with you.
At least.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because you always used to come in with Big Daddy.
Yeah.
The fabulous fishing Hightowers.
Yeah, and the first time I came down here, I know that Marty wasn't a part of the show. He came down in studio with Bob Marriott and myself.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. You were working for Bob Marriott.
Yeah, I was working for Bob Marriott, and. We got the invite to come down here, and Marty lived down here. He says, "Why don't we have Marty come down and do the deal?" And the rest is history after that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for having me, and supporting Seaguar. And if I always say fishing's always good, catching's a little slow. So
yes.
that's probably how you sum up Panama, right?
Absolutely.
Fishing's always good.
Yeah.
And
Seaguar's a very you talk about thanks for promoting Seaguar. Seaguar's a very easy thing to promote. Like it's very easy to promote something that is the best of something. It's when you personally use it and it's the best in the line. It's very easy to say good things about it.
Yeah, and it makes my job as a sales rep the same way. I mean, it's for me it's been fun because we got involved with Seaguar as far as a rep agency, but really at the infancy of fluorocarbon. I mean, we'd worked the Long Beach show over a decade ago, and I do fluorocarbon seminars. And I'd ask people in the audience, like, how many people are using fluorocarbon, and it was like a few hands, and and then I'd ask, how many's using it exclusively 100% of the time, and it was like all the hands went down, So people used it a little bit, and they used it under obviously live bait fishing for albacore and yellowfin, but now you see it being used everywhere. It's mainstream. I quit doing seminars at the Long Beach show because nobody showed up. Everybody knew what fluorocarbon was.
There's no need anymore.
I think the knots have got, the connections were the biggest challenge, I think, on fluorocarbon on the early days, because I remember when we first started repping, people were taking tuna rings and tying leaders because they didn't know how to attach fluorocarbon to monofilament. Right. So they were using like little tuna rings as leaders.
Little swivels.
Which put another extra knot in your connection. So it's 2 knots to the ring, one for the mono, one for the fluoro. And then the Seaguar knot, came up, with a conversation with some gentlemen from Seaguar in Japan, and that kind of made it more mainstream, I think, for consumers to use it. And then braid became a way to fish, that was embraced by the fishing community. And then all of a sudden now new knots have to and I learned about the John Collins knot from you guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to find that really great connection, and there's a lot of great connections out there from fluoro to braid, but the John Collins knot's so easy to teach people, and I got so much confidence in that. So it's just been fun, and then to be involved with the company that's like the inventor of fluorocarbon.
Invented fluorocarbon.
Yeah, and they're still the leading, just from the technology and the resin technology, which is really where everything starts from, is raw materials, and to the finished product that gets on the retailer shelves and gets out to be fished. It's just fun to have been involved in it and see where it was, not that long ago and where it is today. And I still think that just when you think you've touched everybody in the fluorocarbon and braid business, there's still, I'll get on the 5-day trip on the Rooster and still watching people fish straight mono with the little small, they're still using fluoro, but it's still, the braid's got a long way to go. And they're using mono on reels that were really meant to fish braid. That's the part that I really try to, the reel technology today by the reel manufacturers has allowed us to fish these small, cool, I'd say like little 4x4 trucks that are the size of a Mini Cooper, but actually have the power of a Hemi, a Ford. Yeah. That's what these reels are. So I always tell people, if you're not fishing braid on those reels, you kind of are missing why those reels were invented,
Yeah.
So it's just been fun, and to be a part of the show is always a great opportunity.
Well, thanks. Your dad, of course, you kind of worked under your dad for a number of years, and now you run the company. Your dad's retired, right?
Well, semi-retired. He's
is he still involved?
He still works a little bit. Yeah,
he's fishing.
Yeah, he really fishes. Does his couple of 2 or 3 long-range trips chasing wahoo, and
that's work.
Yeah, and he spearheads a couple accounts for me, and he shows up at the Long Beach show for a few hours every day, and then he goes home, and the rest of us close the show. So it's been great. I work with my youngest brother Jason works for us, and my other 2 brothers are in the industry. So I don't think I knew anything else except my kids they're computer engineering major and a nurse, so they're smarter than I was.
Yeah, well, that's funny because all your brothers are in the industry.
Yeah, all my brothers are in the industry.
Yeah,
met my wife in this industry.
Yeah, it's the fabulous fishing Hightower family.
Fishing family, man, no doubt about it.
Fishing. What's amazing about Seaguar, and I'm sure Ricky, being in the tackle business, will agree, is the ability to keep product available, right? And that's tough when you've got a product that is so popular, right?
Yeah, and a lot of it stems from that raw material resins. So the thing that people don't realize is those resins, there's only about 4 companies in the world that make fluorocarbon resins. And every one of us has a cell phone or a laptop or an iPad. The batteries in those devices require fluorocarbon resins. So you can imagine having only 4 manufacturers in the world of fluorocarbon resins and the growth in the electronic business. So there's been a worldwide shortage of fluororesins. Well, we make our own resins. None of the other fluorocarbon fishing line companies do. They have to buy from one of these other 3 manufacturers of fluorocarbon resins, and a lot of those resins aren't really good resins to make fishing line out of. They're meant for commercial grade use like that. So because we control our own destiny, we make our own resins, and we exclusively make resins that are just used in the fishing category. So to make the best product for, us saltwater guys like Fluor Premier or Blue Label or Pink Label, we want impact strength, we want knot strength, we want abrasion resistance, we want tensile strength, we want all of that. So they're able to make resins to formulate fishing leader material, which is what we like.
Not iPhone batteries?
Yeah, well, and we have a different division. We have a division that is commercial grade, but none of those resins are used for making fishing lines. So we control that whole pipeline. So we control the resin. A lot of our competition struggle to just get the raw material product to make it.
And the product is made in Japan.
Made in Japan. And what's really cool, I don't know if anybody even talks about it much, is it's a lot of our higher end products. So like Premier, all the stuff we're talking about, Premier, Blue Label, Pink Label, it's parallel wound on a spool. So I don't know if anybody looks at so a lot of times in the past, machines wound the line, so they'd make the leader material or fishing line, and then the machine would wind it on a spool. So it was all kind of like the way you guys do in the shop, putting a reel on, line on a reel. Well, the stuff that's on the spools is actually parallel wound. If you actually look at it, it's coiled right next to each other all the way.
Every single revolution is right next to the other all the way across.
How do they do that?
That's done by hand. Not in Japan, but it is done by hand. And there's people. I think it's spooled right now in China. So the product's made in Japan in big skeins. It gets shipped. And there's some other stuff that I learned about, which is totally proprietary. Just other little steps that we do to assure the quality of product that we all come to love with Seaguar. But then it goes to, I believe, China, where it is actually hand wound.
No way.
Onto the spools and then shipped to the United States.
Every spool is Seaguar.
Yeah, and so that's kind of important. So well, why do that, right? Because it's going to end up getting wound on a reel, typically, or it's because when you we call them when lines cross, those little contact points being on a spool for a length, it actually weakens the line just
a little indentation.
A little bit. Not probably. You'd have to get on a highly calibrated machine to notice the break strength difference, but Seaguar feels that it's delivering. So not all of our products are parallel wound, but our premium stuff is. So like Tatsu, you buy a 200-yard spool of 4-pound Tatsu, and that stuff is parallel wound. You buy a 1,000-yard spool of Tatsu, it is parallel wound.
Wow.
1,000 yards being wound at 4
by
pound
hand.
So it's just to assure that the product, when it gets to the end consumer,
is perfect,
as good as we can make it, right? And whether you spool it on a reel and then you end up having the look, and anybody will tell you, coming off the spool, it feels so cool. I mean, it feels so awesome in your hands when it comes off the spool and it's just coming off in perfect coils. It just gives you that confidence that product is as good as
it can be made.
As it can get. So that whole process we do, and getting back to being able to fill the pipeline. The hats off to Seaguar, because as this category's grown, we have to chase forecasting. I'm a part of that with my bigger customers to make sure that we have, months and months of inventory on hand, so that when the bluefin bite in April, right, that
the bluefin bite in April?
Yeah, rumors got it that they did that this last week or so. That, like, pretty good bite from what I heard. But I mean, when that happens, that usually catches a lot of people off guard, because we just come out of the Long Beach show, sold a lot of fluorocarbon at Long Beach and Del Mar for the Fred Hall shows, and then all of a sudden there's this little lull kind of waiting around for the fish to bite, and all of a sudden they bite, and people start ordering product again. So we got to be ahead, and these guys have done a great job in being able to do that.
And just think about that task of forecast. I mean, nobody knew last year was going to happen the way that it did. I mean, sure, we all expected it was going to be good fishing, so you think, okay, it's good fishing, we'll pump up our inventory by however you do it, 10 or 20%. It was incredible for day after day, and it went darn near till December. We had wide open offshore fishing. I mean, nobody knew it was going to be that good, and Seaguar is the only. I mean, trust me, like you mentioned, I know from a tackle shop side, it's the only one we could rely on that no matter what, we knew, no matter how many times we stuffed our peg full of 25 and 40 pound, we were going to sell every spool every night and keep ordering it, and they just never missed a beat. And it's so. And we need that. I mean, that's how we fish
and
now.
And it's quality stuff.
It's not quality. It's the best stuff. It's the best.
As you can hear, we have the best stuff for you today on this show. A lot of good information to give you.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show, and so stoked to have Dale. I always learn so much about it and everything and tips and tricks, and it's just going to be a great show. Can't wait. Going to be a lot of fun. And we want to hear from you. That's how Let's Talk Hookup works. Is we want your questions. We want your comments. If you want to join us, talk a story, tell some fluorocarbon, we want to hear from you this morning, and there's two ways that you can do that. First is with our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local number. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only going to be taking your phone calls, not only going to be talking all kinds of fishing today, boy, Dale has brought us a really nice prize pack. We're just going to call it a Seaguar Pro Pack. Pink fluorocarbon spools, my favorite yellowtail line that exists, Seaguar Pink Label, and there is a Ziploc bag, like a 1-gallon Ziploc bag, that is jugged full of spools. 15-pound spool, 20-pound spool, 25-pound spool, 30-pound spool, 40. I mean, we're talking everything that you're going to need fishing this summer. A full Seaguar Pro Pack. Yeah, you're stoked. A very, very nice prize. We want to thank Dale very much and all the guys from Seaguar for making that happen. So a very cool hand-picked Seaguar prize pack for one lucky caller. Again, if you want to get through, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Tons of fishing information coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
The Sport Fishing Association of California is taking a leadership role to broaden the fishing opportunities for Southern California anglers. And Saturday, April 23rd, Pete Gray will be traveling to Mazatlan, Mexico, with the president of SAC, Captain Ken Franke, and his staff, to host a live broadcast from the Pueblo Bonito Emerald Bay Resort in Mazatlan. The broadcast will feature some key personnel from Mexico Fisheries and help strengthen the ties with the sport fishing fleet in Southern California and Mexico. They will also discuss the great fishing opportunities available in Mazatlan. SAC's mission is to promote tourism through marine recreation and educational activities while protecting ocean resources. By working together with Mexico, we can show our care for the resources both at home and across the border. Tune in Saturday, April 23rd, a very special live Let's Talk Hookup broadcast from Mazatlan, Mexico, with the Sport Fishing Association of California. Check CaliforniaSportFishing.org.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details. Get it all at Dana Landing in Mission Bay. It's truly the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Looking for a fishing charter? Dana Landing had you covered with several boats, including the new Blackjack, perfect for 2 to 4 anglers, and the Impulse that will carry up to 6 anglers in comfort and style. Dana Landing has a huge tackle shop with everything you need to go fish bay bass, tuna, or marlin, plus expert anglers on staff to help. They even have Mexican and California fishing licenses and reel repair. The deli at Dana Landing is a local's favorite with all the food, ice, and beverages you need. When it comes to freshwater tackle, East County Bait and Tackle is the spot for a great day on the lake. The ultimate in rods and reels, the latest freshwater lures and live bait. ECBT has a staff second to none when it comes to sharing their passion for fishing. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview in Lakeside, and Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check DanaLanding.com for more details. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro is home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnights on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and 3/4-day trips on the Native Sun. Plus, you can charter the Ultra, Spectra, and Trueline. There is always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. Take advantage of the Wednesday specials on the Pursuit and Monte Carlo, and kids fish free with a paid adult on the afternoon half-day. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or book online at 22ndstreet.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest that's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
You think these people want to talk about fluorocarbon?
I think so.
Phones are packed. They want to talk to Dale Hightower.
You got it. Well, let's jump right into the phones. Why don't we start it off with our good buddy Don, who's calling us from Woodland Hills this morning. Don, good morning. Thanks for getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Pete, welcome back.
Thank you.
Rick, you did a great job the last couple of days with Pete gone.
Hey,
and
thanks,
Dale,
Ray.
I got to tell you, man, I am a convert. I am completely a fan of your fluorocarbon. And I can tell you last year I had my opportunities with bluefin, and there were a couple of fish I know I would have lost if I didn't have my my fluorocarbon leader. And I love the pink. That's my favorite.
I do.
Love to hear that, Don. Thank you very much.
I got to tell you, there was one fish that just probably 35 pounds would not want to come to the boat. And I must have gone around the boat 3 or 4 times with it, and when it came back up, there was a good 6-8 inches of fluorocarbon that it looked like it was shred about halfway through. And I'm sure if I wasn't using fluorocarbon, I would have lost that fish for sure.
That's right.
Well, and that's one of the advantages of fluoro that I tell you, everybody concentrates on that invisibility factor, right? Which is great. I just say that's an added bonus. The reason I fish at saltwater is abrasion resistant. bar none.
Absolutely.
That's it. I mean, that's the reason I'm fishing it. The fact that it's, virtually invisible and it gets bit incredibly well, thumbs up,
And here's the other factor about fluorocarbon is that it lasts forever. It's unlike monofilament. You put it, you need to change it quite a bit. You can put it in the cabinet in a not baking, of course, but it'll last forever.
If you responsibly use it or store it in a normal environment, there's no shelf life to it. It does tend to tint a little bit, like where it looks like it's getting, like, I call it a tea color. Because one of the things that people don't realize, in fact, tatsu is a great example. The tatsu that's sold in Japan is kind of a tea color. It's the natural color that in the fluorocarbon production, that's what it looks like. And if you remember, some of the original Blue Label had a little bit of that.
Some of the original G-Max was.
Right, yeah. You look at it, especially in the larger sizes, it's like it looks a little like tea stained. Mm-hmm. That's the actual color it's comes and made. Unfortunately, it looks to us U.S. consumers, and the Japanese have no problem. They're like, that's what it looks like. That's what it doesn't have any effect at all on the performance of the product. But the U.S. market look at it as like, oh, it's a little old and aged. Yeah. So they actually have to refine the fluorocarbon. So when they first introduced tatsu, we actually had to have them refine it and make it crystal clear so that the U.S. consumer look at it and go, oh, that's fresh product,
that's
right?
Clear.
So it tends to want to, over a course of time, kind of get back to a little bit of what it's normally looks like. So,
but that doesn't affect the strength. No, it doesn't affect the clearness of it, the invisibility of it.
Not at all. But there's a part of
interesting.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, I'm so that guy. That's why I love Premier so much. It is crystal clear. And I'm sure you're right. I'm sure it makes no real difference, but just in your head, it's like that's one of the things I love so much about Premier. Is like you look at all the other brands out there, and it's crystal clear, perfect.
It's so cool having the guy. I mean, he knows all these little innuendos about fluorocarbon that we just don't know, and he knows all about it.
I work with that stuff every day of my life. I don't know any of this stuff.
Know that
cool.
Stuff. Hey, Don, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Let's head south then to Rancho Leonero. Gary Barnes-Webb, who is filling in for John, who I was with down in Panama. I had the pleasure to fish with the boss down there in Panama. Gary, maybe we should have just hung out at Rancho Leonero. I hear the fishing's pretty good.
Yeah, Jared, well, good to hear you guys are back safe and sound. I hope you had a good time.
Oh, it was a great time. We had a great time.
I haven't had a chance to speak to John yet. I think he got back late last night.
Yeah, we got back at midnight
hearing all the stories. Anyway, the fishing down here, it's pretty good. We're into the season right now. It's mostly a marlin bite going on still, but we've been having wonderful weather, very mild conditions. It's really fun to be out on the water. The marlin are kind of more aggressive this week than they've been in the past. They're coming up into the trolling pattern quite a lot. So the trick is to sort of get one to strike in the pattern. If you don't hook him, then drop a bait down and work the area for a while. They're still on the bite on soaked bait. So there's plenty of options out there for marlin fishing. I'm still a bit disappointed that we haven't had any Dorado yet. We're overdue for that. We had a pretty weak Dorado year last year, and I hear there's some good Dorado up north of us, so I'm kind of expecting them to move down any time. The bottom fishing was really good this week. We had an excellent pompano bite, which everybody loves the pompano, and I'm sure it would have been a lot better had we had sardines. The bait we're getting is a little bit big for them. So, that kind of holds the bite back a little bit when you haven't got the right bait. But there were plenty pargo as well, nice big barred pargo. The rooster fish are numerous at the moment, all the way down the beach. Probably the best right now is right by the marina, not far at all. Good fish this week was up to 40 pounds. So all in all, the fishing is picking up really fast. We're right into the season right now, and so I'm looking forward to seeing all our friends coming back in the very near future.
Yeah, it sounds like things are happening, and I understand the hotel's full, and the season is off to a great start.
Yeah, no, everything's good. We've done a lot of improvements as we do every year, and looking forward to seeing everybody.
Absolutely. We can't wait for our Rancho Leonero tournament in June, which is just around the corner here, and just very excited for just a great season down the East Cape. And, we got back at midnight last night from Panama, and although it's a great adventure and Panama's a wonderful country, to take 12 hours to get here versus you could be in Rancho Leonero having a margarita in less than 3, sitting where you are right now. There's something about that, Gary, just being able to be in paradise that quickly.
Good. I'm looking forward to hearing all the stories, guys.
All right.
Hey, Gary.
Gary, if somebody wants to go fishing with you, how do we find you at Rancho Leonero?
Well, I think the best thing to do is go onto the website. You'll see some pictures, fishing reports, the webcam, www.rancholeonero.com, or call our 800 number, 646-2252. Speak to Jeannie or Olivia, and they'll get you signed up.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate the report. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
All right. Thank you.
Gary.
Here's the Cast Man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. Cast, always a pleasure traveling with you.
Yeah, Pedro, I'm amazed that you're there this morning.
I know.
Guys getting in at midnight. I got in, a sensible hour. Of course, I left a lot earlier than you did, but I was home by 2:30. But I'm dragging, man. And, this body doesn't quite travel like it used to. But
yeah, like I said to Gary, it's a long haul.
Yeah, it sure is. It's only a 6.5-hour flight, but then you're 2 hours time zone difference, so it does wear on you. But no, overall, good trip. I heard you talking about it, and it's exactly what you said. Those tuna were so frustrating. They're just popping up all over like popcorn, and you just can't get them to go. And so I was going through my little box there with all my lures, and I saw those Daiwa Salt Pro minnows, so I grabbed one. We beefed up the hooks on it and threw it out. And like I say, that one day I had 2 fish. First one was about 110, and the next one was about 120. And that Tranx is unbelievable. I hadn't caught a big fish on that Tranx until then. And it's definitely going to be with my arsenal wherever I go. And it was incredible. And Ricky, thanks for telling me about that pink fluorocarbon at the show there.
The Seaguar pink.
Yeah. Yeah, I put some 80-pound on, and along with that Salt Pro minnow, and it worked. Like I said, I got 2 fish all within probably an hour and a half, 2 hours of casting there that one day. But it was very frustrating fishing. But hey, that's what fishing's about. It's gonna be all good.
Just fishing. I mean,
and getting to experience that show is there's like nothing else. I mean, you want to talk about getting your adrenaline just pegged, meter pegged through the roof, whatever you want to call it. Seeing 100 to 200 pounders just foaming like that. There's nothing else like that in the world.
It was unbelievable.
Well, the thing about it, Ricky, is the captains there, and they see that all the time, but they still get excited.
Oh,
they
yeah.
start screaming. I mean, they just get crazy.
I think they get more excited than we do. I mean, like when we hooked that big fish that Steve pulled in, Chi-Chi, who's one of the deckhands down there, has been there for many, many years at Pesca Panama, was jumping up and down and dancing. I got him on film. You'll see it when I put the YouTube thing together. But yeah, they want to. They just like most captains here. They want to catch fish more than you do, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Those guys, like I say, they love to fish and they love to catch fish. But anyway, let's get on with the fish report. Basically, ditto from the last month. Just slow fishing in Cabo. San Jose del Cabo, the same. There was some action up inside the Cia Cortez there at the San Luis and the Iman banks there. Those tuna are still there. They're getting some fish up to 50, 60 pounds and an occasional 100-pounder. But the absence of sardinas is incredible. I mean, they haven't seen sardinas in months. And that's kind of scary because, that's a prime bait. But what they're using right now is cut up squid. That's really about the only bait that the tuna are eating right now. So they're using chunks of squid to catch the tuna. Probably the only hot spot and the only good news was in Guantanejo this past week. Good sailfish action, fairly close to the beach, 5-6 miles, along with some yellowfin tuna action. Not real big fish, 15, 30 to 30-pound fish being caught off the beach there. Sailfish about 1 to 2 per boat per day there. Inshore has been good for the roosters and the jacks. So otherwise, I'm hoping that East Cape at San Jose del Cabo and Cabo San Lucas really start to tee up as we're getting into the spring now. So things should happen, and let's just wait and see. But otherwise, that's a report for this week. Want to book a trip into, Southern Baja, mainland Mexico, Panama? Give us a call at Cast Tours at 800-593-6510, or check us out on the web at www.casttours.com. Cobb and Pete, it was a lot of fun again, as usual.
Always fun with you, Cass, and you do such a great job of organizing and the group down there and such like that, and it's just an experience of a lifetime. And the next one up for you, Christmas Island, right? Speaking of of an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, well, not really, Pete. I'm leaving Tuesday on that Baja trip. We're going down to Bay of LA and then on to Santa Rosalia, Santa Lucas Cove down there, and then up and coming back, hit San Quintin. So I don't know if this body's going to be handling it, man. I'm dragging. I still got to get ready for that trip. I don't know.
You're amazing. Hey, just go fishing, man. That's it.
Yeah.
That's your job. You have to go. We call it field research here.
Exactly. Plenty of that.
All right, Cass. A pleasure as always, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
Sounds good, Pete. Talk to you then.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, hey, let's jump right back into the phones. They're packed up. We're going to talk to Rich, calling us from Bradley this morning. Hi, Rich. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Well, thank you. And congratulations to you guys for bringing us the kind of experts like Dale who can kind of really help us along with the ins and outs of what's newest and greatest. It's really made a difference for me starting to use the fluorocarbon as well, and I'm really impressed with his products. But I'm having one little technical difficulty, and I'm hoping maybe you can help me out. I watched the Let's Talk Hookup video for tying the John Collins knot, and it's a great video. It really explains it backwards and forwards. Tied up my knot, and it looked great just like on the video, but I'm having trouble getting it through the guides when I'm casting, and I'm wondering, do I need to tie that knot outside of the guides where it's maybe not as long, or is there something I can do differently with the knot to where it'll go through the guides better, or maybe you can kind of give me some help in the inside baseball on that.
All right, Rich, this is how I fish. So I fish about a 5 to 6 foot fluoro leader for my local stuff. So I'm talking, anywhere from a overnight trip to a 5-day. So I like that knot outside the tip of the rod.
That's probably where I'm going wrong.
Yeah, and if you shorten it up a little bit, as much as I'd love to tell you that you need to fill your entire reel with fluorocarbon, you only need about 5 or 6 feet at the end. I think the bait swims better on that shorter top shot. I personally like the knots outside the tip of the rod, and then I don't have to deal with what you're experiencing. So just shorten it up a little bit, and that whole process will go away. What's your guys' thoughts?
I might say one thing that can help is, are you cutting your? Well, one is keep paying attention to how your tag end is tightening up. So when you're grabbing a hold of the line, so you've got your knot done, and you've got the main line on one end and the tag end on one end, and the main line on one end and the tag line on the other end, and you're kind of grabbing all 4 lines together when you tighten it up. Pay attention that your tag end line on the fluorocarbon side is nice and parallel with your, rather than it being split and maybe off at a 90-degree angle when you tighten it up, keep it nice and parallel with the main line. It's going to help your tag end to lay flatter.
So squeeze them tight together when you're jerking on it?
Exactly, yeah. Hold them so that they're parallel instead of the main line just kind of being off loose on its own. So when it cinches down, it will lay flat instead of laying up. The other thing that you can do is, and this doesn't make a major difference, but it does make some, is when you cut your tag end off, instead of cutting it with your trusty pair of dikes that you've had for 20 years, which has a tendency to kind of smash the line before it cuts it. If you cut it with a pair of shears, like you'll see a lot of the long-range guys use on the boats, they're almost like a heavy-duty pair of garden clippers, a pair of shears.
You sell them at Fisherman's Line Tackle.
We do, yeah. That will cut your tag end really nice and flat rather than give it that smashed end that wants to raise up. So the more that you can keep the tag end parallel and cut straight, you're not going to have that little piece sticking up that'll grab the guides you're going through. Because I'm with you, Rich. Do I fish I'll fish a piece as short as Dale does when I'm fishing around kelp and heavy structure, but I usually use a little bit longer a piece. I would say I'm more like a 6 to 8 foot piece of fluoro, which downside, I would say most often my knot usually ends up somewhere between the reel and the first guide while I have my hook on the eye. So I'm usually more like 6 or 8 feet. So I do cast mine through, but make sure that tag end is laying nice and flat and parallel, and I don't think you'll have the issue anymore.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, catch reports, all kinds of great info. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
This is
is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 55 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built for ultimate performance on the water. From our next-generation fishing shorts like the Tactical Camo or Stealth Shorts to our Aft Block sun protection shirts like the Fish Ninja and Samurai Sun Hoodie, the entire AFCO clothing lineup is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and designed with functional features to deliver top performance for the demanding angler. Visit www.afco.com to find a dealer near you.
Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every year, and salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh, right.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. As promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there today. The Catch Report sponsored by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. The fish you catch is a valuable item, so why not take the best possible care of it? Fisherman's Processing is San Diego's finest. They'll treat your fish as if it were their own, and once you try them, you'll be hooked. Check fishermansprocessing.com for more details, or see them when your trip returns to the San Diego landings. We're going to start off with our catch report of the Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Talk to the man, Captain Brian Woolley's on the line. What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing this morning?
Good. We're ready to get out of this funky weather is what we're ready for.
Right, no doubt about it. No doubt. Well, I'm just going to jump right into things here. Gosh, man, 3/4 day this week, we had some absolutely fantastic rock fishing this week. Probably some of the best fishing we've had since it opened in March, with some really good catches. Midweek seemed to be the real good days for us. 150, 200 red kind of days like that, with some real good sculpin scores on top of it, and, of course, some other mixed rockfish, which for our sector, with the meager amount of hard bottom out in the deep water that's, inside of that 60-fathom area, those are some really good counts for us. So we were really stoked to see that. Things kind of came together out there, and what really got me fired up this week down in that deep water was the fantastic uphill current that we had all week. Man, it cleaned the water up really nice. That kind of blah green water all moved out, and it's that really good blue-green color out there, 62 degrees, some really good life in it. Water, quite honestly, we haven't seen since December down there. And when we had that water there in December, there was some yellowtail to catch in that water. So we're going to be keeping good tabs on that little sector of water for sure during our 3/4 day trips this week. It just, everything looked good, had everything that you would want to, you'd think with some game fish hopefully in that water. So closer to home, the half-day stuff, continues to improve with the conditions too. I know that uphill current cleaned some of the water up as well on the inside. Some good sign of surface action again a little bit on the calico bass there. And, of course, in the usual stuff, the sheephead, sculpin, sand bass, kind of rounding out the counts for those guys. So that's pretty much it for us in a nutshell. Of course, today, guys, give you a heads up, today's Don Hansen's birthday. Just want to throw a happy birthday wish out to him. I know he's up, I think he's up in Washington at a Pacific Fisheries Management Council meeting right now. But, hey, happy birthday, Mr. Hansen. We'll wish you a happy birthday. And that's it for us. If you guys want to hop on a trip, certainly call the landing. The phone number there is 949-496-5794. Of course, you can check us out on the web at danawharf.com. And again, we urge listeners to link right there on the Let's Talk Hookup webpage. They'll give you a discount code on our little banner ad there on the front page, and you can take it right over and book online from there.
Happy birthday, Don Hansen.
Yeah, happy birthday, Don.
Man, that
cool.
guy's amazing.
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Pretty cool stuff. And, hey, you know what? I'm so fired up on this water to get down there and look around our 3/4 trips. Why don't you give away a 3/4 day trip, one of your prizes at the end of the trip?
Okay.
Very cool.
3/4 day
awesome.
trip to go fishing with Captain Brian Willie out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. We'll add it in, and they'll be loaded with Seaguar fluorocarbon when they come.
Perfect. There you go.
That's cool.
All right.
That's very cool.
Thanks, Willie. Appreciate that, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Have a great show. Thanks.
All right.
See you, Brian. All right, let's hit the surf now. Our surf guru, Gundy Gunderson's got our surf fishing report. What's up, Gundy?
Hey, how's it going, gentlemen?
Doing great, bro. How are you?
When the cast man complains about going on too many fishing trips, I don't even hear it. You know what I mean? Save it, cast man.
I like it.
Hey, another good week of fishing. Spring is really coming into play. As Willie was saying, we're getting a little bump of warm water, and boy, we're getting a lot more players in the game. Another solid week as spring fishing takes hold. More better quality perch, lots of halibut moving shallow. We had our first spotfin croaker bite, corvina in the mix, and a dandy orange-mouthed corvina taken in the lagoons. I'll start with hook, line, and sinker. Limit fishing on perch, more and more quality, lots of fish in the 1.5 to 2 pound range. Gulp, sandworms, grubs working real good. Also more halibut showing for those guys. The harbor mouth was a particularly good spot. Wiley's held an Uptown Derby yesterday. 2 pound, 1 ounce fish took top honors, taken off Ventura on a mussel. Second place was a 2 pound even fish, also on a mussel, taken off Santa Barbara. Just Fishing reported first corvina taken this spring off Hermosa. Fish ate a soft-shell sand crab. They're seeing sand crabs starting to show in that area there. And I've heard sand crabs are showing on many beaches right now. Big Fish reported good spot fin bite. Seal Beach Pier, Alamitos Jetty, solid 2 to 3 pound average on the fish. A few 4-pounders in the mix there taking mussel. Halibut fishing was also good. 34-inch fish taken off Mother's Beach in Alamitos Bay on a drop shot. Berkeley Gulf Shad is what got the bite there. Hogan's reported good bass bite in the boilers off Laguna there. Guys are throwing swim baits, getting checkerboards to 4 pounds there, and that was another thing I heard this week. Lots of calico bass in shallow and some nice quality fish. Finally, Pacific Coast reported wide open fishing for halibut in the lagoons, Oceanside Harbor. The shorts are just shingled in there, lots of shorts, but there are some better fish, 27, 28-inch checked into the shop. And then another angler on a smelt-colored swim bait had a 32-inch orange-mouthed corvina there taken out of the lagoon. That's got to be a double-digit fish. That's a beautiful fish. And finally, the shop there in Pacific Coast is holding a halibut derby for the next 2 months, April and May, sponsored by Shimano. The 2 fish checked in yesterday. The guys didn't register. You have to register beforehand, but if Shimano's sponsoring it, I imagine there's going to be some nice goodies for the guys catching the better fish. So something to keep in mind with that really good halibut bite. And there's always some big ones filter into those lagoons this time of year. So I imagine there'll be a nice one taking top honors there. But, boy, terrific fishing on all fronts. And you just pick the species, and there's probably a way to go get one.
Yeah, man. As negative as an impact in Panama that the El Nino has, we like having positive impact in our backyard.
We'll
right?
take it up here. Sorry your Panama trip was tough, but we'll take it up here.
Yeah, we'll take it. Hey, Gundy, thanks a lot. Great report, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, gentlemen, have a good week.
See you, Gundy. All right, well, that was our surf guru. Typically, we're hearing from our lobster guru, but also a bit of a halibut guru himself, too. Jim Salazar is on the line, our Promar Pro and good fishing buddy. What's up, Jim?
How you doing, guys?
We're doing great. Good to hear from you.
Welcome back, Pete.
Thank you very much, Jim. Good to be back.
I'll tell you, Dale, I'm sold on that Seaguar. We did that trip on the Fred Hall trip with you guys where Tim got that big wahoo on that 30-pound Seaguar on bait.
Yeah, I was there to witness that. That was
that one sold me right there.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have jackpot on that trip till I saw that 60-plus pounder come over the rail.
Yeah,
on 30-pound fluoro premier.
Yeah, you were the first one to land the wahoo on that trip, weren't you?
No, Justin Poe did.
Oh, that's
right.
Justin
got it
first.
on I think the first patty, and then we had that where I don't know, two rods went off.
Yeah, we had the Rapala go off.
Yeah, that's right.
That was an awesome trip.
Yeah. That was good.
Eric McCulley, right? He had a Rapala fish.
Yeah, and then I got an iron fish, and then Tim got the granddaddy, so that was pretty awesome.
How many wahoos did Doug have in that? Oh, never mind.
How many did Pete have?
So I was using that Seaguar down in Cedros. I was using, according to Corey, he was telling me to use 40 to 60 pound as a leader on there for those toothy calicos they got down there.
Totally.
Yeah, so you were down with Jeff at Cedros Tackle.
The Cedros Tackle show.
Right, the new kayak adventure there at Cedros Tackle, and how was it?
Oh, it was great. He's put together a great little operation down there. He's got a couple of great guys working for him, too. We took his Ponga skipper out, and at the end of the first day, after he had caught a whole bunch of halibut up to 25 pounds, he was telling us he doesn't want to go back out on the Ponga unless it's for tuna.
Wow, that's awesome. Rad, Jim. How cool is that?
It was cool. You know, Cedros wasn't up to its regular summertime standards. It didn't have the big yellowtail, and the giant calicos weren't turned on yet. But it was still excellent calico fishing for me. I mean, my fingers were sore. Those guys have some big teeth down there.
Yeah, and you were able, because of the kayak and the truck, to access areas that you, even if the wind was blowing, you were able to get out and get into the prime zones?
Yeah, we were able to either go down by the salt factory. They wanted to show me that area down there. I guess that's where the big yellows show up. You guys have been down there.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess it's pretty much guaranteed if you put a big Mac out down there. But we went and launched down there, and it was a cakewalk launch on either side of the salt factory. One side for the yellow, and then we went down towards the south point where the big boiler rocks are down there, and we fished for some calicos down there. And that was the best calico fishing we had. That was down there.
Nice. Cool. Well, so fun. And how's the house? He's got a beautiful casita up there.
He's got a great little casita. He's got a front house that's his place with 2 bedrooms and a bath and a nice little kitchen set up in there. We did some great cooking. We made halibut enchiladas. We made grilled halibut with mango avocado sauce. Oh, we ate good halibut down there because halibut was the fish. First day we got 7 up to 25 pounds.
Gee.
Oh, no way.
And we were fishing in about 15 feet of water is where the kayaks were, and we were throwing towards shore, almost literally on shore, and bouncing plastic back. Anything with a white belly was getting killed. So we just killed the halibut. And then the last day we did it again, and we went back out to that same area and got about, because it was really windy, and we got about 6 legals up to 20 pounds that day.
Wow,
what a
pretty
cool
awesome.
deal, Jim. That's
Cedros
rad.
It was incredible, all on plastic.
Plastic,
that's what I'm saying.
big halibut. Well, CedrosTackle.com. You want to go? Our trip is already sold out, but I know Jeff has other opportunities through primetime summer to go down and experience this very, very unique fishery. I'll bet you can't wait to go back, huh, Jim?
I can't wait to go back and pull on some big yellows. That place is nice. He set it up well. There's a great kickback area with a little pizza oven and a barbecue and fire pit, and he set it up pretty nice because you guys know Cedros isn't exactly a hot spot in the world, for entertainment. But he set it up pretty nicely, so it's a nice little compound.
So,
and he's got 4 brand new Outbacks with everything on them.
Wow, that's
color
fantastic.
fish finders, Lowrance fish finders, bait tanks. We set them up with Scotty pole holders and game clips and PFDs and radios. He's got everything you need down there. 2 great guys running the show for him down there too.
So awesome. did you use some of those Promar live deception jigs down there?
I did. I tried them, and they just weren't interested. They wanted plastic. Although on our last day, the Barracuda went off. If you threw inshore, you got halibut and smaller calicos. If you threw iron offshore, towards the deeper water, you got all the barracuda you wanted and some bigger calicos on the either the live deception or on the iron, the tatty fee.
Wow, fantastic. Jim Salazar for Cedros Tackle. Sounds like a great adventure, and thanks for joining us this morning.
I can't wait to hear your report when you guys get in
I'm
there.
looking forward to it.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, guys, bye-bye.
Hey, with that, we got a special little bonus report. We got our man, our fishdope.com reporter, your saltwater guy, Dave Hansen, on the line, calling us a little early because you're out fishing today, Dave.
Yeah, I'm out here. We're out here looking around, seeing what we can find on our way over to Clemente. But, guys, what a week, huh? I got lucky. I found one of those big croaker things down there just below our harbor a couple days ago. We got a nice 61-pounder, my personal best so far in my short little lifetime. But there's a few fish showing up around the kelps, up and down the coast here. And then that bluefin tuna fishing went Richter for a couple days in the beginning of the week. It was pretty spectacular fishing. And now, we got a little bit of weather, kind of southeast pushing around. And what you really need to find that bluefin is you need that flat, calm weather. And the southeast kind of always pushes those fish down. I don't think they've gone anywhere. I just think it's a little hard to find them right now. And as soon as this weather snaps back into shape, I think you'll do just fine out there on that bluefin grounds. I wouldn't stop fishing just because we got a little weather, guys. Like we talked a couple of weeks ago, I think it's super important just to be on the water as much as you possibly can now until the end of the summer, because you just want to be on that bite when it happens. You don't want to wait until it happens, then you end up going the day after and you don't catch anything. So all I can say, guys, is you just got to go fishing. Still quite a bit of yellowtail at San Clemente Island and in Catalina. If you get there and the conditions are just right, you can pick away on some of that fish. The fish go anywhere from 5 pounds up to about 25 pounds, depending on what grade of fish you get on. And then if you get lucky, you find the right conditions on the backside of either island, you do really good bass fishing. And then what are we supposed to do this time of year, Rick? We're supposed to fish for rockfish, and the rockfish fishing is nothing but great. Everywhere you go, it's really good rockfish fishing down there. In Dana Point, Brian Woolley had a phenomenal day yesterday. He had like 150 red snapper on the 3/4 day boat. That's pretty spectacular fishing.
Yeah, that's fantastic fishing. And, of course, you stay in tune, you stay ahead of the game with fishdope.com. Dave Hansen and all the top guys report to that and always give you the best. And if you use the code Hookup now, lowercase, no space, you get $20 off an annual membership to fishdope.com. You got to have it. You go on fishing, fishdope.com is the source, and Dave Hansen will tell you the straight scoop. Sometimes we get mad at him for telling us the real straight scoop, but that's what his job is. That's what he does.
Yeah, like where all those lobsters were last year?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, man. So, anyway,
go,
Dave, great job, and, of course, we want to go fishing with you. How do we do that?
There's a couple of ways you can get a hold of me. You can look me up on the web at yoursaltwaterguide.com, or you can call me at 949-374-0786. And guess what, Pete? I'm bringing the comedy show to you guys next Sunday morning.
Oh, a day at the docks?
Oh, yeah, we're bringing the comedy show. We're going to be on the main stage. I bet you they're going to love that down there.
Oh, boy. Dave Hansen live at Day at the Docks next Sunday. That'll be awesome. All right, Dave, we'll look forward to seeing you there. And, of course, you can do your live report right there from our live broadcast at Day at the Docks next Sunday.
Absolutely. We'll be there. Kelly and I will be there. I just want to do a quick shout-out to a couple of my buddies that are listening. Kevin and Kevin, good morning. And I'll talk to you guys next Sunday.
You better wish somebody else a happy birthday today, too.
Whose birthday is it today?
Isn't it the man?
Dad.
Oh, I know. I'm just kidding.
Get out of here.
No, we already talked to him, but he's good. Happy birthday, Dad, and I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Again, this catch report today is sponsored by Gamakatsu Hooks, Japan's leading fish hook that sets the standard for quality, innovation, strength, and durability. Get ready for the big summer season. It's coming up, and time to stock up now on your Gamakatsu Nautilus hooks. Don't wait until your favorite size is in short supply. Get Gamakatsu Nautilus hooks at your favorite tackle store right now. When we come back, another full hour coming your way. We're also going to talk to Captain Mark Gillette of the Eclipse, find out what's biting. Tons of great stuff coming up. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, the Mighty 1090.
My way to it's a fish. For a new exciting fishing excursion this year? Come to Cedros Island for a kayak trip. Cedros Tackle is pleased to announce the completion of their newly built casita. Enjoy their beautiful secluded home with all the comforts you would expect packed from a high-end resort, including single occupancy rooms and filtered water. All tours will use Hobie outboard kayaks with bait tanks, fish finder, and VHF radios to ensure a great experience on Cedros Island. Travel light and leave your tackle at home if you'd like, as Cedros Tackle has a fully outfitted tackle shop, including top-of-the-line rental gear, which includes Phoenix rods and Daiwa reels. After a long day on the water, enjoy delicious local cuisine prepared by staff while you sit by the fire and enjoy the views of Mount Cedros. If you dream of catching a 10-pound calico bass or 40-pound yellowtail, Cedros Tackle will put you right in the spots where you'll be casting at fish that may have never seen a jig before. Come join Jeff, Omar, and the gang for a beautiful trip on Cedros Island. Visit the website at cedrostackle.com for more information and to book your trip.
You've made the investment in a boat, and you know how important it is to take good care of it. That's why you need Monsoon Yacht Service. Mark and his staff specialize in taking care of your boat and making it look its best. No matter if it's on a trailer or in a slip, let Monsoon Yacht Service clean and polish your boat to make it look like new. Monsoon Yacht Service also does fiberglass and gel coat repair, custom rigging, and the best detailing you have ever seen. Be proud of your boat again with the help of Monsoon Yacht Service. 619-405-2176 or check monsoonyachtservice.com.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Ranch is small, it's very personal, very intimate. I don't think there's anywhere else that you could have the old Baja feel and have all those miles of beachfront, the palapa roofs and the stone walls. There's not a room that you don't have some kind of ocean view. You don't give up any amenities at the ranch. It's just very rustic. You know how when you cook outdoors it tastes better? Well, that's Rancho Leonero. It just tastes better. We have paddle boards, we've got kayaks, we've got snorkeling equipment, of course. We've got 12 super pongas. We have dive trips. We've got over 40 kayaks at the hotel. We've got all accurate equipment, very top of the line. And when the fishing's good, we'll freeze your fish, pack it all up, send it home with you. People love it. They'll come back 5-6 times a year. That's the highest accolade we can get. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. It's unique.
XEPRF 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh, rush!
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
For over 5 decades, Lee Palm Sport Fishing has set the standard in long-range fishing that they pioneered long ago. The Red Rooster 3 sets a new standard of excellence. The Red Rooster 3 is one of the most modern, quiet, and fastest long-range vessels in the fleet. They have handpicked the finest crew to make your trip a memorable one. The Red Rooster 3 offers trips from 3 to 18 days and runs year-round to the best fishing spots on the planet. Ride the Red Rooster 3 once and you'll be back again. Call the Red Rooster 3 at 619-224-3857 or see them on the web at redrooster3.com.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
The ranch is unique. It's one of the few places in the world where you can still drive ATVs up the beach. We have fishing from the beach. We have dive trips that we run to Pomo in a number of different spots. Kayaking, of course, has been real big. We were one of the first hotels to introduce kayaking. The ranch is small, it's intimate. It's 34 rooms, so everyone gets to know everyone. The old saying, where everyone knows your name. Well, truly at Rancho Leonero, the employees do know pretty darn near all our guests' names. And what's even more interesting is most of the guests know each other's names. Very personal, very intimate, and a special, special environment. 2 miles of beachfront, a mile on either side of the hotel. Rancho Leonero is really the last of the old-style Baja fishing resorts. 1-800-646-2252. 1-800-646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero.
Everybody looks forward to spring fishing. The yellowtail are starting to bite, and exciting tuna action is right around the corner. As the fishing is ramping up, Ford Truck Month is winding down. These are the final days to get big rebates and special low financing on Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks in America for 39 years in a row. That's why you see so many at the launch ramp these days. F-150 has the power and capability to tow and launch your boat with ease. Plus, its high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body panels won't rust like other trucks. If you have a big boat to move and need even more muscle, Ford's Super Duty is definitely the way to go. Its next-generation 6.7-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel delivers big-time power along with impressive fuel economy. So don't miss the final days of Ford Truck Month, the best best time of the year to step up to a new F-150 or Super Duty. See your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.